I'm not over here. Very expensive. Yeah, this thing keeps shorting.
Yeah, that's just
I unplugged them and fixed them.
let me go get mine.
Your computer?
Yeah. Oh, no, I know what's wrong. You gotta turn on the TV.
It's one of them. Yeah, I turned it on twice.
Otherwise it like shorts off.
Hey, remember Andrew was saying the TV's gotta be on the church.
It doesn't see the HDMI unless the TV is going for
So I'll
whatever.
unplug this again until the TV's on.
No, the TV was on.
It just flashed too.
It doesn't even matter which order as long as the TV is on. It should recognize the HDMI after that.
Was off for a second.
Yeah, when you unplugged it, I think you got it. Is it going? Okay, there you go.
Yay, good job.
I'm just doing driving lessons right now with my 14-year-old, so it's no big deal.
So did she race down here?
No, but she learned how to park in the city parking lot, so that's good. Now we're going to practice at Walmart.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Work mine.
All right, I will call the meeting to order. The first thing on the agenda would be public input. If you need to address the park board on any item that's not on the agenda, excluding personnel items, please come forward to the podium, state your name, concern. Presentations will be limited to 3 minutes. Items will be considered, but no action will be taken at this time.
All right. Well, hello everybody. My name's
Should be a microphone button on the external line. Where's that one always like?
okay. My name's Eric Sabers. I am the new president of the Mitchell Skating and Hockey Association. I just wanted to come introduce myself, put my face to the name, recognize a few people here, so not a complete stranger to the board, but just wanted to introduce myself again. A couple items I had is that you'll probably be seeing me here in the next few months. We've got we've got some big ideas and investment projects that we're looking at, and so we'll be visiting back and getting input and see what you guys think, what we want to do. We really want to start doing some more investments in our facility and help make it the best we can have as our home. So we're pretty excited this summer. We've got a lot of people working on design stuff, but the other thing is I just wanted to recognize Jeremy and his crew. We thank them for great season this last year. I'm also one of the coordinators of our large adult tournament that we hosted in April. We had over 300 skaters from 6 states, 34 games over 3 days, and a couple of 12-hour days. And so his crew definitely made it a super efficient weekend. We had a lot of rave reviews, and we pretty much have our whole tournament booked for next year already. So because everybody's impressed with not just our tournament, but also the facility and the amenities that we provided. And so I think that's a great testament to the organization that we're working with. So just wanted to give our appreciation to him and his crew and to let you guys know. So that's all right. And if you got any questions, you can always reach out to me on the website, mitchellmarlins.com, anytime. So I'm always available. So, but thank you.
Anybody else doing the public input? If not, we'll move on to item number 3, the delegations. We have Mitchell Christian School Coach Julie requests to waive event fees for the cross-country meet.
Well, hold on. Debbie, did you guys have anything? Okay.
No, thank you.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Julie Holdeman, and myself and Jill Neidham coach cross country at Mitchell Christian, and we are looking to host a trail run come fall, September 3rd.
Yeah.
And we are requesting that the fees for renting or using the property be waived, as we are a nonprofit in the area.
Can you use the fire steel?
Yes, we're using the fire steel, and we are, Mark Meadham, the previous coach, had set up the first trail run. We took a year off because we were brand new, and so we're going to try actually flipping the course a little bit and starting on the opposite end of Firesteel, and using the parking lot and the bathrooms near the West End Bridge as well, but we'll probably have a sponsor bringing in a porta potty as well. Yeah, someone's planning to donate that, and so, yeah. Any other questions for us?
Thank you for
Okay.
your patience before actually getting.
Well, thank you for hearing our request. We appreciate that.
Motion to approve.
A motion, we have a second. Any further discussion?
What would the fees normally be?
Fees are $300 per event participant or $300 per event.
Okay.
And then, if I remember right, this gets done quite often. We've had this happen quite a bit.
That you've waived the fees? Yes, that is the precedent for our school. Yes, thank you.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. It's pretty
We'll just
standard.
follow the rules.
Yeah. We have, without any further discussion, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving, waiving the fees for the cross-country meet, Mr. Christian? Say, all those in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Next, we have additions and deletions. Don't know anything. Okay, approval of the minutes.
Anybody see on those things to whether they might agree or disagree? Not agree. We're looking for any comments on whether or not it would be, it's accurate.
I read through it, thought it was accurate. I have a motion to approve it.
A motion to approve the minutes. Can I have a second?
Also,
Motion and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor of approving the minutes? Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Financial documents. Anything you want to point out to us on this before?
Bills are getting bigger this time of the year.
Has it been a little slow as far as campers because it's been colder this spring, or?
I'll let Angel, who processes the bills and the invoice for the, the receipts for that.
No, it's been going really good. We were completely full Memorial Weekend. And we're almost full for Father's Day. We're completely full for 4th of July. And I mean, it's not on pace like it was last year, but yeah, I mean, it's staying busy out there. Yeah.
Memorial Day was an interesting weekend. I'm sure the guys will tell you when it comes to what took place in terms of wind and having a full campground, and right before that with the water heater needing to get flown in. So it was a fun stretch then.
Yeah, was there much for damage with the wind?
Just trees.
Sure.
A couple of campers got nicked. Does anybody talk to us regarding that? You or Steve? In terms of
Yeah, we had one that what they do is when they contact us, HR has a standard insurance form, claim form that they fill out. They fill that out. Since it happened at the city campground, they submit it to the city insurance, and then the city insurance will decide whether or not they'll cover it, which.
I was just going to say, I know people at state parks, and it's never been covered.
Their nature,
Yeah.
provided it was a safe tree and it wasn't deemed as being dangerous or something, work we would have to get done, it would normally not cover.
I guess the only bill or update I was kind of curious about, I saw the Kiwanis playground equipment was ordered.
Yeah, it's been ordered. It's actually sitting at my shop. We're just trying to work it in the schedule, get time to start doing the install.
So I was just curious when it was coming. Any other questions? No, I entertain a motion.
I'll motion.
A motion to approve the bills, may I get a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second to approve the bills. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say no. Abstaining?
Can I don't see the line item listed here.
There's James Valley ones in there.
Okay.
Yep.
Abstain.
Motion carried.
Figured it was.
Department reports.
Want me to go
You're
first?
first, Kevin.
I'll go first, sure. So since we last met, we had our summer registration, opened that up April 18th. Registrations went really well that first day, on the first week. A lot of our swimming lessons filled up, especially our younger levels have filled up through all 3 sessions. So that was good. Tennis is not as good as last year. I put in here baseball and softball numbers were down a little bit, which they are, but since I wrote this, we're actually only down about 1 team in the boys and 1 team in the girls from last year. So not too bad, but we're still excited about EW and them helping us with the softball, and we still have our Legion kids helping with the baseball, and so it's been going good. The weather's been cooperating for the most part, so most of our programs started last week or this week, and so they're all up and running. Staff has all been trained and ready for a good summer. We opened up the outdoor pool on the 27th of May. Steve will attest to this. It wasn't the easiest of openings, with the storm happening, and then one of our pool heaters the week that we were opening went down, and so that actually we had to order a brand new one. That got installed and got up and running basically yesterday, and so usually that's not too big of an issue, but it's been kind of cool, so the water temp was chillier than normal. So
Upper 70s for swimming lessons.
yeah, so it's been a little chilly, and then the weather not cooperating. We had opening weekend was pretty decent for weather, but since then it's been pretty rough. So we're looking at hopefully tomorrow and for the next week or so being in the 80s and 90s and getting back to normal over there. So I know Jamie just texted me, said there was nobody there except for lessons, so we are going to shut down. Besides lessons, we shut down early when nobody's there, obviously, or if there's at least 10 or less. So, and then our number is 64 degrees and less, which I talked to Kevin about that. We're going to be talking about that with you guys maybe this coming winter about changing a few of our policies on closures and and that kind of thing. So we'll review that all before we open next season. So then new sunshades over the concession area, and then we had 2 separate ones out on deck that were 2 of the ones on deck were installed. The columns for the ones in the concession area are up, but they had to, once they got them up, they had to measure to see how big they needed to make the sale, and so they should be coming back with that within the next couple weeks. The 2 that they did put up look really nice, so that was good. So it'll be nice when those are all up. It's a different kind of shade versus those umbrellas, and so they're a cool looking structure. So the rec center been going really well. We're up over 3,300 members, which is more than we've ever had, so we're really happy about that. In May, we finished up our after-school program and our preschool program, and as of yesterday, our 3 classes are full already for next year, so we're excited about that. This year, we didn't have them completely full, and they're full right now, so we're happy about that. The replastering of the pool, it looks like they are now on track to be coming to do the work starting January 25th. We'll be draining, or excuse me, July. Yeah, it started in January, I guess, but July 18th is when we're going to start draining both of the pools at the Indoor Aquatic Center, and then they'll come in and start the reconstruction process on the 25th. Hopefully, we're only down for about a month. Not sure. Obviously, I've never done this before, but they seem to think they can get it done within a month. So hopefully, we're not down for too long there. And then the old pool remodel, I just actually today got the bid documents from Schemmer, and so they sent that off to Joe Schrader as well, and they'll be reviewing those, and hopefully we can get that out for bid for the second phase here within the next couple of weeks. So.
Touch base on LifeQuest.
Yeah, I think she's got the thing. So do we want to do that during the, do it, I mean, I can do it now, or we'll just do it on the agenda item then, yeah. So. Anybody have any questions about anything summer-wise?
Okay, like I said, we've been working at the outdoor pool, getting that ready for Memorial Weekend, minus the one pool heater that Kevin talked about. And he also mentioned the shade structures going up out there. Working on irrigation systems, going through them, making repairs. We put up the banners downtown for the chambers. We put out all the fishing piers and boat docks and buoys in the lake. We added new wood chips to the plaza area and Bella's Butterfly Garden. Ongoing mowing and trimming of all the parks. Mentioned the water heater, our main water heater went out in the bathhouse at the campground. It was an old fuel oil water heater, and we opted to go with the natural gas water heater, which would double our capacity and recovery rates, all that stuff. But in order to get it put in before Memorial Weekend, we had a trench, that opened the trench ourselves for Northwestern to bring in the gas line.
We had the option of paying for $10 a foot for boring, but we figured $8,000 to put in the gas line wasn't really reasonable for us.
So that all happened about a week and 4 or 5 days before Memorial Weekend, but we got her in. So, clean up trees and branches from the storm we had over Memorial Weekend. We're pretty much done. I got one part of the one big tree down in Dry Run Park yet that was across the creek to get out yet. Other than that, there might be a few hangers here and there that we still got to try to get down. I'm sure we'll.
One in the neighborhood that we have to get into, drainage area, you know, somebody.
Okay, I guess I don't know about that one, but
Is that one you communicated with Joe on?
no. Anyways, the mini split for heat and AC got installed in the enclosed shelter in Hitchcock Park. That's up and going. We just need to get up in the attic and get that insulated to help retain the heat and AC.
The one in that neighborhood, Steve, is in a public drainage ditch, but it tipped into somebody's private yard. So it's not out on the street, it's behind somebody's property.
Okay, I'll have to talk with Joe tomorrow then.
It sounds like they're planning August for it because it's so big.
Okay,
And then we'll take an excavator.
lovely. So it sounds like the one in Dry Run. Other than that, just putting up the tree watering bags on the newly planted trees and day-to-day operations with seasonal staff, you know, emptying trash cans, clean restroom, shelters. Any questions?
You guys able to get all the seasonal help you needed?
No. You know, I could use 2, 3 more, but we're making do with what we got. So
Just curious.
I got one guy that applied yesterday and got him a packet. Well, hopefully he'll get that back and get him started too, but
All the other guys are doing fine, and Steve was shorted this summer.
yeah.
Any questions? All right, Jeremy, you're up.
Been a little bit since we had a meeting, so we have a few seasons done with Wesleyan baseball and softball and Mitchell Spring and JV. The Legion, Junior Legion, Teeners, black and white teams have started. Those seasons go through the first part of August. Our Park and Rec programs have got going, National League, rec softball, and baseball. All the travel teams are going. We have 16 of them this summer, and they practice on the Cadwell fields and all the park fields. We had a teeter tournament last weekend, 3rd and 4th. The low ring is this weekend. It's pushing 60 teams. I think they got 59. The Harvest tournament next weekend and Kiwanis tournament the 25th and 26th. Men's and women's slow pitch started the first part of May. Those are Wednesday and Thursday nights on the Cadwell softball fields. The Dakota Bulldogs football team started. They've had 3 games and 1 more is on the 26th. Is that a Saturday, I think? So they have 1 more. Staff's busy mowing fields, weed eating, clean up, prepping fields, coming back and prepping them later. We painted full softball bathrooms and the ABC bathrooms. Changing field lights. I went through 3 cases, so 18 lights. Those were about $900, and I just ordered 3 more cases. So I'll be going to council next year about maybe changing to LED and some softball fields and maybe some ice arena. Once we get those in, you kind of just let them go, and they're good for 20 years. Working on irrigation. We're about done with the dog park fence. We got about 50 more feet to do, and then we can take down that temporary fence. The engineers, they put a bike path in from 8th Street to the entrance of the dog park, and then they're going to either this fall or next spring finish from the entrance of the dog park over to the parking lot to kind of keep a continuous loop going. We did have 2 trees uprooted from the storm, and one of our bigger sunshades on the west softball fields ripped. It should be taken care of with insurance. That is about, with the hooks and the tension bars that go with it, it was about just under $19,000. It was one of our biggest shade we got there. At soccer, the youth games started on, or they were done on May 21st. The competitive league is still going right now. They're using 2 fields, but they don't play any games. And they have no tournament scheduled for this summer. So when they're done on June 26th, nothing's going on there until when they start their fall league and when Wesleyan comes back. Painting fields out there, mowing garbages, bathrooms. We put in 2 more walk-through gates by the front entrance and on the north side of the complex between fields 7 and 9. We went to turn on irrigation, and our jockey pump was bad, so we've been waiting. It's supposed to be in next week. That's going to be a 10-horse pump, but that's going to be about $7,500, including labor. And yeah, hopefully it does come in next week. It was supposed to be last week, but he called and said that got pushed back again. At the ice arena, we got both sheets out. We met with figure skating to go over a few things. We added in some advertising. We'll talk about that when we get to their contract, and changed a little bit of language for when they have hockey tournaments. And they also requested for exclusive rentals when it comes to figure skating, but we thought that wouldn't be a good idea because that would take away from the city's revenue if someone wanted to rent the ice. The roof is still leaking a little bit. It's still very manageable. Great Plains Roofing is supposed to be in the next few weeks. We do have some money that we carried over from last year to look at, see where it's coming in, but it's kind of a guess. I don't really know. Besides tearing up the whole inside while it's raining or while we got hoses up there and see exactly where it's coming in, or relaying both roofs completely. I don't really know how to fix. Again, you got to find the leak first, and we don't really know where it is. But they got some ideas, so they're going to come in and do a little bit more looking. I'll be getting a hold of Ring Tech. They brought in a lot of stuff. Our compressors are in, the chiller barrel's in, our condensers are in, but nothing's hooked up. But we're going to set up a time so when I have to turn on ice, they will schedule out before then how long it's going to take them, so they'll get done and they'll be there for the startup to make sure the new compressors are working the way they're supposed to be. And that will be ready by the 3rd Wednesday in September, so we'll probably be turning those on right at the end of August. That is all I have.
How's it going with the artificial turf baseball field?
Oh, yep. The turf is in and installed, and it is going very well.
So
teams like it. It's kind of it's a struggle for the other teams to know the rules with seeds and food and gum, but I think it'll come once they're here a few times. But everyone that's been on it loves it. There's been a few games that already that could have been canceled, but we just move more to direct.
I don't know how many meetings ago it was, we had somebody come in about some dog park renovations. I remember that. Where are we kind of at on that, or what are some of the? I remember some of the things that
They were talking. We did
speed
put up
bumps in particular.
We're not going to do speed bumps. The only speed bumps in town on city property or roads is at the golf course and their parking lot. We did put up, oh yeah, and Hitchcock too. We did put up speed signs up there. So there is a 25-mile-an-hour posted speed limit. They set up a donation thing so people would come and donate money. So
There at the park they did?
no, it's kind of, you come into the city and give money, but right now they only have just over $500.
Were they asking for lights too? Was that one of the things that?
There was some motion lights. I did hear they wanted some shelters, like a concrete pad with some kind of roof to put a few picnic tables in. I have heard through a Facebook account that they have people that are donating 2 of them, but I haven't heard anything back from anyone. And we would do kind of the work on that. We would dig out for the concrete and pour the concrete. I don't want anyone else's equipment in there or them have to do with shovels, but we would kind of donate that time.
But the new sidewalk had nothing to do with?
Nope, that was not the dog park stuff. That was city engineers had that plan to begin with.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thanks. Next item on our agenda is the approval of installation of the zebra mussel signage at Lake Mitchell.
So the Game Fish and Parks Department contacted us and they'd like to switch out some signage, and they're providing these, even though they show a price on there, they would be providing them. So of course, in order to put something out there, we have to check with our board to make certain that you're on board with signs going out there.
Just every boat ramp or?
Yes.
I think it's the same as anywhere else that has zebra mussels, has the same signage, so.
Right.
A motion to approve.
A motion, and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carried. Next item is the Palace City Peddlers Bike Trail Maintenance Agreement.
We've never had a formal agreement in place, and they do a lot of work out there. This just specifies, gives parameters for what the type of work they can do, the distance from the trail, and as importantly, there's a piece of equipment they'd like to have out there, which is a wood chipper. That's going to create less work for our crew because they won't have to go out and haul any piles, and they'll just be able to disperse the chips within the wooded land there again. Less work for all of us.
They don't have anything, I mean, they've always kind of maintained trails in there, there's nothing different than what they've always done.
Just the wood chipper.
Which will actually be better, because right now we just pile them in a hole, basically. You find a spot and pile them up.
Yeah.
There's no.
So then you gotta handle them twice, once when you cut them down, and then whoever's gotta get them out of there, or
Even
you're
if they
saying
get
just
out,
leave
I don't even
them.
know if they get out of there.
Sometimes they do. If they're accessible areas, Steve's crew will get at them, but if they're tucked back into the woods,
Yeah, there's some areas if they can get them out to a parking lot or a grass area opening, then we come back and pick them up.
on the trail at all.
My one concern with the agreement was, I think it was item number 2, about approving changes. And I think that should stay with the park board. Just because I think it should be a public meeting, and if we're making changes to public property, I think it should be discussed.
You talking about in the middle here with contact with?
So
with the
you're
directors?
talking about the creation of the new, just like we've done in the past, where you see the new trail flags.
Yeah. That's what I thought that item covered, is any changes. Maybe I missed, want to see what everyone else thought, I guess.
I think that basically just that they intended to go off the trail a little bit, not making entirely new trails is what the intention of this was. And it was just, and without making it too formal to where if they had an idea, it wouldn't need to sit for several weeks in order to come to a board again. If you have reservations on it, they won't be getting their chipper yet. That was work they wanted to accomplish this summer, but I won't try to overrule what you're saying.
Although it was, I don't think that's what he's talking about. He's talking about when they come in and we want to create a new one, like to cut new area through, right?
Yeah.
Right, this is all
Right.
maintenance, so this is a maintenance agreement.
So only affecting
Right,
existing.
I don't think this is construction, right?
Right.
So is there-
Okay.
Is there a construction? I don't know if there is a construction.
And if it would go that direction, I, as the park and rec director, wouldn't say, yeah, go ahead, we're glad to have your work. We would want to converse and have be to a board vote whether or not there was any repercussions of adding a trail.
Yeah.
And certainly with Steve and his crew too, to see if there's any, and engineering, and go around the horn before we add stuff out there.
That's-
Yeah.
Any further questions? Yeah, motion to approve. There's no further questions then?
Motion.
Second.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Dallas City Peddlers Trail Maintenance Agreement. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carries. Next item is the Life Quest agreement for the rec center and aquatic center.
Yeah, so a couple weeks ago, I was approached by LifeQuest. They had received some funds. I don't know if it was through grant. They didn't quite specify, but they received some funds of $350,000 to use at their discretion. And what they would like to use that for is a benefit for all of their part-time and full-time employees. And they want to use it for family memberships to the rec center and to the outdoor aquatic center. And so we would get a lump sum from them for $350,000. It would be good for a 4-year period. So they would have memberships for their employees for 4 years, starting September 1st through September 1st of 2026. And so they're using it as a retention benefit for their employees. And so it's a good deal for everyone, really.
How many employees?
They, anywhere from 180 to 200, depending on, part-time and things like that, so. And I'll be going out to their facility July 27th, I believe, and having a couple of sessions with them to kind of let all their employees know what we all have to offer, what comes with their memberships, to try and get as many, because sometimes when you have these kinds of things, they offer it, and they don't, maybe half of them use it. So we'd like to see, and they would like to see, as many people as possible use that benefit, so.
And it's just for employees, not for family or?
It's a family. Yep, it's for their families. Yep.
So,
They'll have an
ballpark idea on how many more people we'll be adding? I don't know.
It's hard to say. We'll get a better idea probably in August. They'll do an open enrollment kind of thing for it. They were going to give me some numbers on how many they actually had right now that were members. We don't have a corporate membership with them right now, so it was hard to say without knowing who all their employees were. But safe to say we'll be picking up quite a few.
Right, so if a person were to say that there's 2.5 people average per employee, you'd be looking at roughly 500
Mhm.
people coming through the doors. But and they don't come through all the time.
Right. Yep. So we're excited, they're excited, and so Justin drew up this agreement, and if you guys are willing to okay that, we'll get started with it.
A motion approval, a second? Second. Any further discussion before we vote? Okay. All those in favor of approving the LifeQuest contract? Aye? Aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carried. Next item is the Mitchell Skating and Hockey Association agreement.
The hockey agreement, there was two changes for the hockey agreement. One is the player fee went from $20 to $21 for 13 and up, and from $10 to $11, 12 and under. And the rink rate per hour went from $75 to $77. And then back in the paragraph 20A, for hockey tournaments on weekends, we kind of changed some wording. Hockey tournaments on weekends shall have priority for the use of the facility to the extended required time to accommodate such event. However, the city will use reasonable efforts to schedule tournament activities in a manner which will minimize disruption to other groups who traditionally use the facility during the proposed times. Kind of that sentence was added, so say figure skating, they usually go 9 to noon on a Saturday, so if hockey had a 4-hour tournament that they needed the south rink for 4 hours, they wouldn't schedule. I would not let them schedule that from 8 to noon. I would say you would have to start that at 12:30 and go until 4:30. It puts me kind of making any and every opportunity to have both user groups using the same facility on the same day. And those are the only changes for the hockey.
So is it, you're not going to let them use it between 9 and noon, or not if you can avoid it?
No, if I can avoid it. If they need the rink for, say, like for the men's tournament where that goes 8 in the morning until 8 at night, then we'd have to reschedule any other things that were going on there, open skate, figure skating practice. But if hockey had the whole north rink for 12 hours but needed 4 hours in the south rink, I would be asking them not to go from 8 to noon, go from 1 to 5. So figure skating will always has it on Saturday and still do their practices where it would be open later on in the day.
There really isn't a situation that happens in reverse, is there? That's what I was trying to think about. Is there a situation where that happens in reverse? I don't think so.
They hope for it to get to that point.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm thinking. At this point, there's no reverse.
They do have their big show in January where hockey is blocked off that weekend for figure skating. So that, because it's big, they need the north rink for that one.
You want any comments on?
All motion to approve.
A motion, a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second to approve the 2022 Mitchell Skating and Hockey Association agreement. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carried. Next up is the 2022 Mitchell Figure Skating Club agreement.
Okay, the same two changes that were in the hockey with the player's fee going up $1, the hourly rate going up $2 from 75 to 77. Also that language that we just talked about, but we are adding into the figure skaters. They would like to start doing advertisement, and that is okay with everyone, but they didn't have anything in their agreement for advertisement, so we pretty much took what hockey has in theirs, put it in figure skating, so now it's in their agreement that they are okay to do advertising for their club, for signage and stuff like that.
As far as placement of the signs,
Like we talked about before in an earlier meeting, we will fill up the spots that are available first and then move underneath the mezzanine. And once that is completely full, then come back and talk about outside the boards advertising.
and you're in charge of first come, first serve as far as locations, or?
If they come, you have this spot, this spot, this spot, I'll talk to hockey. Do you have any plans for this spot, this spot? Nope, okay, we're going there, starting above the locker room, going above the crow's nest, When all those are full, we'll start new spots in between the lobby and underneath the mezzanine windows. And hopefully it gets to where we can go outside the boards, because that's more revenue for hockey and figure skating.
Does that include like the words in the ice sponsorships and like bashers and all of that?
Yep,
too?
if those spots are open, yep. And we'll follow kind of what hockey has for pricing, just so no one is undercutting. That's the minimum. If you want to charge, if a sign is $800 and you have a business that wants to give $1,200 for that same sign, they can go ahead and do that. But you can't go, if this spot is $800, you can't go to a business, I'll give it to you for $600.
Right.
Those are the only changes for the figure skating agreement.
Comments from the other groups?
When if the spaces get full, you're just getting in contact with them to see what's next, or you're going to bring that here to?
I'll bring it back, because a while ago, they wanted to start going on the outside of the boards, but the board agreed to fill up all the spots we have and
Yep.
then move underneath that mezzanine. And once those are full, we'll come back to the board and see where we want to go.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Can I get a motion?
Motion.
A motion, second? Motion and a second to approve the 2022 Mitchell Figure Skating Club agreement. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carried. I have the next meeting is July 14th. Does that work? Anyone? Everyone? Yeah.
I used to be at a place where we had 6:30 a.m. meetings. Is that out of the question for people? Or is that-
My crews are at work by then. Sorry.
It's quite all right. Every crowd's different.
I guess I'll set it for 6 PM on July 14th. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.
Right now, it's the last, March, last week of March. It's weekend before Easter. So Easter, one week early this year, or this next year. So going after Easter kind of pushes it too late. But yeah, that's the ones are tentative right now. We're going to, me and Stacy and Nick, we're going to be here because we got to talk about reorganization. 40% just as an entity.
Some of that was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our teams. Because it's got. So, yeah, no, it's a good thing. That's our weekend that we said, yeah.
Because we're going to start working on our schedule, and so knowing that.
That's what I figured, so.
Yeah.
No, I guess.
Yeah, our spring show is usually our last week of the winter session, depending upon when we get to start our winter session. So that, and that's flexible, it doesn't have to be our last thing.
It's, yeah, Friday the 31st through Sunday the 2nd.
Because right away,
We haven't advertised our employee yet, but that's, that's,
I think it's just